Okay, everybody, here at the Arboretum, right by the bike trail where you go down to the floodplain area. Just wanted to show you all what Japanese honeysuckle looks like. So here we have a nice, pretty nasty invasion. So here are the leaves. Notice they do that kind of reverse taco thing and curl to the underside. So here's what the leaves look like. If you look close, they're kind of fuzzy, a little sandpapery. This thing is definitely a vine. You can see here some fruits. So they kind of have these little black purplish fruits on them, which is a pretty good characteristic that's not similar to any of the other kinds of vines that you'll see. So here's Japanese honeysuckle. There's some more of it over here, kind of going all the way up this tree here. There's a ton of it here, so if you want to come collect at the Arboretum, there'll be a bunch of it. So here's some more. Looks like some of them were starting to leaf out a little bit when it was warm a few weeks ago. You also see some of them that have kind of this reddish purple color to it, so that'll be another kind of key characteristic here. And here's the world's biggest poison ivy plant. You can tell that, like, those kind of fuzzy extensions off the main vine. So all those, what look like branches up there that are coming off this tree are all poison ivy. You can see the little white fruits on them if you were to look at them really closely. Here's another viney species. This is a native one. This is greenbrier, or roundleaf greenbrier, Smilax rotundifolia. Those fruits you see back there are multiflora rose, an invasive species. You can see this right here in the foreground with the green stems and the prickly parts. But this is a native species, the greenbrier is, so don't confuse that with Japanese honeysuckle. Okay, here's a looks like a box elder tree that as it was growing up, it had Japanese honeysuckle twisted around it. So you can see, actually, you can almost see the scars from being strangled by a vine. Here's another something that might trick you a little bit. This is called privet, genus Lingusticum. Also has these kind of purple fruits on it, but this is a shrub, so it's not a vine. And that'll be your key distinction there. And they have these kind of clusters of fruits that kind of hang down at the end of each branch. Okay, here's some Japanese honeysuckle that has started to kind of invade the forest. So we are in the Arboretum still, but up above the bike trail, which you can see down there. So even though there's a big patch of it down by the Mon River, you can still see evidence that it's making its way into the forest. That's because those little black or purple fruits get dispersed by birds who eat the fruit and then poop out the seeds, and then they germinate here in the forest. This is kind of right by the trail, but there's a bunch of kind of low-lying honeysuckle right here, you can see. Okay, here's a native species that might confuse you a bit, called cross vine. I don't know how common it is here in West Virginia, but this is probably planted here at the Arboretum. The leaves kind of come in twos like this. They're connected just like that. There's some more. They kind of have a purple back to them. Here you can see this one going all the way up this maple tree here, or oak tree, sorry. Okay, now for another confusing species here. This is winter creeper, Euonymus fortunii. You'll see these kind of purplish red buds here at the bases of the leaves. The leaves also do that taco thing, but they're kind of broader and waxier with kind of whitish veins coming out. This is what the fruits look like. They're these kind of orange red double things with this kind of yellow papery part surrounding it. Here's another shot of the bud there. If you can see it. Yeah, so this is a pretty nasty one right in front of my neighbor's house. Okay, final exhibit. This is another one that could be kind of confusing. This is English ivy or common ivy. So this is really distinctive because it has these kind of really, really whitish net-like veins. And usually has 3 lobes to the leaves when they're small and on the ground like this. Sometimes 5 lobes, like that one right there. You can see some other ones right there. When this is crawling up a tree, it looks very different. It looks more like winter creeper or something. So it's actually dimorphic. But this is another one you might see in the types of places you'll be collecting Japanese honeysuckle. Okay, I was just kidding. There's one more. This is periwinkle. This is invasive in my backyard, as you can see here. It's really hard to get rid of this stuff, but this one's going to be pretty distinct because it crawls along the ground. You're not going to see any flowers or anything on it right now. Kind of forms more of a ground cover. Here's some more up here. You can see it's kind of viney. It's more like a kind of like a creeping thing along the ground here. So that's another confusing one, but it won't really grow up into the trees like honeysuckle will. So that'll be your first. And the leaves are really super shiny and waxy. Sometimes they kind of have a whitish hue to them in some of the cultivars. So those are some things you can use to tell them apart from honeysuckle.